morning and happy Friday. It is the 13th of May today. With it being a Friday, it is my weigh-in day, so I am coming on to make a weigh-in video where I will update my weight and sort of explain how I've been getting on this week on my weight loss journey. For those of you who just watch my weigh-in videos and don't watch the in-betweeny videos, you might be a little bit confused as I have stopped counting my calories and I've stopped counting my macros. So I'll just try and briefly explain a little bit about why and what's going on there. I just basically had come to the end of the road with calorie counting. I realised that I had no desire to count my calories, and I feel like I was just getting a bit of a rut with it, kind of carrying on, even though the passion for calorie counting and macro counting had just completely gone. I understand the importance of calorie counting or sort of monitoring your food energy intake on a weight loss journey, especially coming from a background of overeating and eating disorder. I just feel like knowing your portion sizes and you're not overestimating what you're eating is extremely important. However, I think I have been calorie counting and weighing out my food long enough to determine what a overestimation of portion size is, or if I am overeating. I've got a pretty good knowledge of how many calories are in a certain food, and sort of how much of the volume of that food equates to what calorie amount. I suppose there's a few things I have realised since stopping counting my calories that I feel like potentially have been where I've been going wrong. So for those of you who have been following me right from the beginning, you're a trooper first and foremost, but I think I started off at about 1,200 calories, which I got from various sort of calculators and things online, based off my activity level, based off my height, based off my current weight then. So I started off with that. I gradually increased it to 1,500 I think I was on the last time I was counting my calories, and I definitely had times where I would sort of think, well, I've got this amount to use, so at lunchtime or snack time or dinner time, rather than thinking how hungry am I would look to my calories and see how many calories I've got left. And at the end of the day, if I had I don't know, something wild like 600 calories left, I'd be like, well, I can have some chocolate, or I can have this, I can have that, you know, as long as it's in my calories, it's okay. But I think I was doing it to my detriment a few times as well, because if I had gone over my calorie goal, or I felt like I hadn't got enough calories left for the rest of the day, say at lunchtime I had consumed, I don't know, let's say 900 calories or something, I would sort of get a bit worried at the fact I only had 600 calories left for the day. So I would kind of internally sabotage and say, well, I'm gonna mess up, I'm gonna be over my calories, so why not just go balls deep and have whatever I want. And I'd kind of just use it as a bit of a free time. I don't know, looking back now I can clearly see how that is ridiculous, because, you know, having one biscuit with a cup of tea isn't really going to break the bank, but having a full pack of biscuits, a sandwich, some toast, some cereal, whatever else, I don't know, it's obviously gonna add up, and it's gonna be detrimental to the overall sort of weight loss of the week. So I suppose in a nutshell, I think mentally I'd just got to a place where, rather than I was thinking about my hunger level, I was thinking about how many calories I had left. And I just naturally self-sabotage if something started to go wrong. This is why I work with such extremes, and such extremes work really well for me. So for instance, if I say I'm gonna drink once a week for the year, I don't know why, but that just doesn't, it doesn't really work, because I'll feel like if I, you know, had a bit of a drink or whatever on a Tuesday, and then I had it on another one on the Saturday, it would go, the whole sort of like plan would go out the window, because I'd be like, well, I've sabotaged and failed. So if I feel like there's an element of failure to it, it just completely throws me off, and I just don't see the point in carrying on. Unless I'm gonna do it, then I don't see the point. And I know that's really silly, because ultimately any sort of progress is progress. But anyway, that's just how it works. And I think seeing sort of like them red crosses, or, you know, on the NutriCheck, or the sort of like red bar on the MyFitnessPal app, I think psychologically that was just having such a detriment to how I was feeling overall. And I think as well, I just got into the habit of seeing food as calories and not nutrition. So and all that aside, I was just really exhausted with monitoring every single thing that I was eating, and in a sense of tracking it, making sure like how many calories does this have, how much protein, how much fat, how much carbohydrate, blah blah blah. You know, I think it just all became a little bit boring. And just didn't feel right. So I came to the end of the road with that. But obviously I'm still very much wanting to lose weight. It's still a huge sort of like goal that I want to get to. I want to be at the goal weight that I'm setting, and I want to have body confidence, and I want to have my fitness level where I want that. So, you know, all these things are still very much a priority. And I've been sort of like dabbling with the idea of mindful intuitive eating for a while, and I suppose I never really trusted myself to do it, because I felt somewhere inside me that if I said I don't have a calorie restriction, or I don't monitor my calories, I would use that as a massive excuse to be like overeat. But I've actually found it's had the opposite effect. I feel like it's allowing me to really sort of think about my hunger levels. And the biggest change I've noticed so far, I mean, it's only been a week, and I appreciate and understand that these things take time, and it's consistency, and, you know, just a constant effort that actually gets to where you want to be. And I know, like, I can't really go off short-term things, because I want something that sticks for the long term. This might be it, it might not be it. I know I've tried a few different ways so far in this journey, but I do feel like this is fantastic so far, so we will see. But the biggest change I've noticed is when I'm coming to like have a meal, let's just take dinners for example, because I think that's always been my biggest meal where I've consumed the most amount of energy. I'm being very sort of like conscious of the amount that I'm eating, and I don't think I'm like underestimating or anything. I do think it's like a generally normal portion size. But so let's say for example, take one of the meals I had this week, which was a chicken tikka masala with whole grain rice. We did have some poppadoms as well. I would have previously, I probably would have weighed out 100 maybe to 150 grams of rice, depending on, this is the thing as well, depending on how many calories I'd had left. So if I had quite a lot of calories left, I'd think, oh great, I can like have, I kind of feel like naturally I'm quite greedy, and naturally I just sort of like naturally I will lean towards wanting to have a higher volume of food. I don't know whether that's just ingrained from childhood, because my mum absolutely was a feeder, so our plates were crammed full of food. So I don't know whether it's because of that or whatever, but yeah, so now I'm just thinking, like, I'm looking at the plate and I'm thinking of like my stomach, and I'm thinking of like, okay, so what proportion of this plate needs to have my carbohydrates? What proportion of this plate needs to have my protein? What proportion of this plate needs to have vegetables? And I'm thinking of it more like that. And I've done that this week, and I've done it very successfully every single time. And I've found it's really weird. It's really, really weird, because usually I would obviously weigh it out, and then sometimes there were leftovers and I might go back for a little bit more or whatever. But I know for a fact my dinner portion sizes are much smaller than what I'd been having, and I am just as, if not more, what's that word? Satiated? Is that the word? I don't know. I feel just as full and satisfied, if not more, now than I did then. And I don't know what that is. I don't know why that is, but obviously something's clicking psychologically and like resonating with me. And I think also because I'm not monitoring it, I'm being a little bit careful. And then, but this week, you know, I've had like things that I wouldn't necessarily have eaten before and felt okay with it. So I had some birthday vouchers to spend at a really lovely little cakery cafe in my village, and I went down on Wednesday, I think it was, and I had a brie bacon and chutney panini with a little salad and a cup of tea. And then myself and Jim got a cake to take home and split and share later on. So I've had things like that. You know, I had granola every morning for my breakfast. I had the chicken tikka and rice for 2 nights, because we split the meal over the course of 2 dinners. And then last night I had, we baked a ham and made some homemade chips and an egg. And I had 2 slices of bread with my dinner, which is like crazy. Yeah, just kind of like not really seeing any food as off limits, but seeing it as, you know, proportionally what amount of this should I have, just as a natural thing. And yeah, it's working fantastic. So I'm not counting my calories. I have actually been just jotting down what I've been eating on a notes on my notes app in my phone. So literally just, I don't know if that's gonna focus. Is it gonna focus? There we go. You know, I don't think I did it on one day, but there we go. Just kind of like jotting it down. And I think that really helped initially, because I was kind of a little bit, on Monday I was a little bit like, what the hell have I eaten today? So I quickly jotted it down in my notes app, and for some reason seeing it in this format makes me feel like it's a lot more than when I looked at it in sort of like a calorie counting app like NutriCheck or MyFitnessPal. I don't know why, but it just didn't seem as much. Strange. So I've been doing that, but in terms of counting calories or weighing out food, I haven't done it once this week. I haven't counted a single calorie and I haven't weighed out anything. So it's felt incredibly freeing in that aspect. I feel like I've got loads more time on my hands. Just dead quickly, by the way, Robinsons, I think it is, have brought out a summer edition of their cordial, and it's raspberry and lemon, and it is insanely good. It's so yummy. I am enjoying it very much at the moment. Sorry if I've made you all very thirsty now. I always get really thirsty when I see people in videos drinking any kind of cordial. It makes me incredibly thirsty. So yeah, so I've not counted any calories or anything like that. I've been very mindful. I'm just listening to my body as much as I can. I am aware it's just the first week, so we'll just see how it goes. I did weigh in on Monday just because I was away last week on holiday. I wanted some kind of post weigh-in to go off and to sort of like track and see how I'm getting on with this mindful eating. And when I was away, I think I counted my calories a couple of days. I tried the mindful eating thing a couple of days, but you know, I did have puddings that I wouldn't normally have had here. I did have, you know, the occasional treat. I got a coconut and blueberry iced scone from a market, and when I tell you it was incredible, I really need to like recreate it. It's so delicious. But I was still kind of being a little bit cautious of my portion sizes, and just overall making sure I'm trying to eat a well balanced diet, lots of vegetables, lots of fruit, lots of proteins, lots of, you know, good sources of carbs and things. So but I did eat more than I would have eaten being at home, and the week prior to that I don't think I did so good either in terms of like what I was eating and the amounts. Just let me have a look and find out, because I'm never prepared for these videos. So just let me have a quick look at what my last weigh-in was. I didn't what was it? So the last weigh-in that it looks like I did was on the 23rd of April, and that was 15 stone 1.6, and it looks like that I was 5 pounds up from the previous week. And then I weighed in on Monday. I know I mentioned this in the other video from this week. Weighed in on Monday at 15 stone 4 pounds. I've just said it and I can't remember. So that's obviously a gain of 3 point something pounds. And I did actually weigh myself on Tuesday and yesterday as well, because I want to get into the habit of seeing my fluctuations and understanding my body a little better, and how when I eat certain things, how I might affect my weight, and just I don't know, just have a better informed idea of my weight and how it does fluctuate, because fluctuations are completely natural. And this is why I think for somebody who doesn't weigh regularly, it's really difficult to get a true sort of idea of what's going on. And I think it's really difficult because I feel like my body can fluctuate up and down a fair few pounds from one day to the next. So yeah, very difficult. So on Monday I weighed in at 15 stone 4. On Tuesday I weighed in at 15 stone 1.2, and this morning I weighed in at 14 stone 13 pounds. I just want to point out, because it's really bugging me, that my scales aren't really dirty. They're just like, they've got this speckled design on them, but I feel like it looks like dirt, but it's not. Yeah, so 14 stone 13.6. I believe that's a 5 pound loss. I'm dyslexic, I'm shit with numbers, so if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I think it's a 5 pound loss. So obviously super chuffed with that. I wasn't expecting it. I felt like the first couple of weeks doing this mindful eating, I would probably maybe gain a little bit. I did not expect to lose 5 pounds. I haven't really worked out this week. So the whole sort of like weight loss this week is purely due to my diet. And I think I'm not thinking I've lost 5 pounds of fat. I think that's pretty crazy. I think it's probably a lot of retention and just food naturally being sat in my stomach and my digestive system, because I've not been eating as much. I don't think there is as much inside my tummy, so I think that's probably why it's quite a significant loss. But I have tried hard, I really have, so I'm gonna try and give myself a bit of a pat on the back. But I really think it's working. I think the weigh-in today is testament. So I've just got to, you know, keep what I'm doing, and I think after a couple of months will be a true test to if this is going to work. And I know it's all about consistency. It's all about consistency, and it's not that, I just guess I'm just trying to find the thing that's going to be long term most consistent. I might come back to calorie counting at some point, I might not. I don't like putting any definites on it, because I do honestly think that weight loss journeys are so personal, and I feel like there's so many reasons why I'm at this place I am today. And I think I was realizing this actually when I was replying to your comments, and which I'm always so grateful for. The support and the love that I get from you guys on here blows me away. And I think I've realized it when I was replying that I feel like you guys have certainly played a huge part in enabling me to get to this point where, you know, I feel like I can switch and change without hypercriticism, people saying, are you giving up, are you doing this? I've never had that. And a part of me, I have been told that I don't stick at stuff before, and I have had a couple of like comments aim towards like, you just need to stick with what you're doing, or you need to do this and stick to it and it will work. And I'm pretty sure, you know, if I did it would, but for whatever reason I didn't want to do that, and it wasn't working. So I might switch what I'm doing 10,000 times, but as long as I'm consistently trying, I think I've said this so many times, but I do think that is the most important thing, because eventually I will start doing something that will work. And I am going to lose this weight. I am going to lose it. I really, really am. But I just feel so fortunate to have a space where I can come and just be authentic and say, hold my hand up and say, I don't think this is working anymore. And whether that's after one day, 1 week, 1 year, or, you know, whatever, I think it's really, really good to just be honest with yourself and say, I feel like I need to try something new, or I feel like I want to do this, and not have any backlash from it. There's not been many times in my life where I've felt confident in my voice and confident in my belief. I was really, I don't really want to take this video into this thing, but you know, I've had a lot of like trauma, and I've had a lot of like things where I've had my belief system crushed. So I think the fact that you guys are week in, week out cheering me on and saying, you know, you support me, and having people also resonate and say, I relate to you, is just amazing. So yeah, I'm really, really super chuffed with my 5 pound loss. Life as usual is pretty tricky at the minute. I've got a lot of stuff going on. Just very quickly, the van is broken at the mechanics, and I've had a little bit of information about what's going on, but we don't know the full sort of like extent of it, which is incredibly stressful, because myself and Jim both use that for our businesses. I had loads of stuff planned for next week that I needed the van for in order to do something for work. That's been put on hold. Yeah, so it's just a little bit of a nightmare, but I'm trying to sort of like stay calm, control what I can control, and not freak out, because the most important thing I always think is our health and our, you know, I haven't been told I've got like an incurable disease. I've just been told that I have to somehow figure out the way of like making something work that's currently impossible, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm just trying to stay on the side of like positivity and just, yeah, can control what I can control. So my gym is too far away for me to walk to in order to work out, and I think probably what I might do over the weekend is try an outdoor run. I've got like things here at home, like I've got some weights, I've obviously got my yoga bench and other things that I can work out. I just don't need to use the excuse that I've not got a vehicle to get to the gym, because there's a whole world out there that I can run. So it's just an excuse if I say to myself, I can't work out because I can't get to the gym. So I'm going to figure something out as far as that's concerned, because I do want to start being a lot more active. I don't really have any sort of like goals or anything for next week. I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing, and fingers crossed this time next week I'll also have a great result. I think I'm going to wrap it up there because I've been yabbing on for some time now. So yeah, thank you so much for all of your support. As always, it blows me away. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. It really does help my channel and really boosts my it encourages me to just keep going. And as always, with any new subscriber, I'll send you all the happy vibes. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic week and you've got lots of lovely things planned for the weekend. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Oh, one thing I wanted to say actually was I haven't had the chance or the time to watch many videos on YouTube at the moment, and I definitely I want to get back into watching other people's channel. If you are watching anybody on YouTube who's on a weight loss journey, please leave their name or their handle or whatever in the comments, because I want to find new accounts. There's some amazing accounts that I currently follow that I'm going to start picking back up and watching again. But if you are watching anybody, let me know. And also it's another way for you guys to see other weight loss channels, and yeah. So yeah, that's it. I hope you're doing well, hope you're all good, and until next time's video, I hope that you do stay happy, healthy and well. Love you all. Bye.